Well, earlier this year there was a press conference. It was publicised announcing the launch of a new music streaming service called Tidal, which vows to make everyone begin paying for music and wish to put an end to streaming music for free. Ironically, a free-to-view broadcast of this was advertised on YouTube, which boasted to be all about art, taking music to the next level, and it was marketed as a civil rights movement. So, some of the richest musicians in the music industry co-funded Tidal and gathered for this press conference. These included the masters of mediocre: Arcade Fire, former Chris Punchbag Rihanna, country musician and former herpes sufferer Jason Aldean, Illuminati poster boy Jay-Z, and soft porn star reject Beyonce, Chris Martin from the suicide note inspiring band Coldplay, Kim Kardashian poster Kanye West, world famous yet still totally unrecognisable Alicia Keys, boob Nazi Nicki Minaj, zero tolerance banana hater Jack White, and Madonna Ra, the ever living. Basically the elite of the mainstream pop music industry. This streaming service Tidal was supposed to blow away existing ones such as Spotify. It was argued to be a fairer system for musicians because instead of faceless record companies receiving large chunks of musicians' royalties, now some of the wealthiest, greediest, facelifted musicians on earth can take a bigger slice. And maybe one day, even if this becomes very successful, take a cut from all the lesser known musicians as well. You could tell that this gathering of musicians was very serious because more wealthy music pop stars participated in the press conference than for any charitable event I've ever witnessed. Each of them gave justification as to why the public should subscribe and hand over big bags of cash every month to them instead of just going elsewhere, like possibly on sites like YouTube and, you know, for free. It was a bit like watching the entire cast of baddie bounty hunters from all the Star Wars films sat around a table preaching to the Alliance. We're sick of the Empire making Death Stars, so we built our own one now. It's co-funded by us, and we want you to pay us all for it with a monthly subscription. Daft Punk, they backed this, but they might be just actors wearing stormtrooper helmets. Jay-Z argued that this was all about the art, which is quite interesting really, and he's previously admitted that he dumbs down his music so that more people purchase it. No compromising his art there then. This battle against the evil, tyrannical mainstream record companies, you know, the ones that previously paid them all millions of dollars and created their stardom, sound like a bad sales pitch. More like the contents of a bull's back passage exploding into your face. It hasn't totally established all the perks for non-superstars, or whether they intend to allow all music on the streaming service, meaning that there could be some kind of conflict of interest. As Tidal is funded by large mainstream pop artists, supposedly offering pay-to-go, here-to-see exclusive content, it stands to reason that they dominate it, just like they dominate the rest of the music industry. But do they dominate it as much anymore? They all seem pretty terrified about losing money despite earning lots of it currently through other established channels. Madonna's net worth alone is something like $800 million. She and her erotic walking stick are poking every orifice possible in the hope that Tidal is a success. Sadly for the poor music millionaire music club, this so-called artistic revolution is becoming a bit of a joke amongst the lesser ungods. Yeah, you've got many independent musicians, songwriters, bands who do make money from sites like Deezer, Amazon, Spotify, Bandcamp, iTunes, and they aren't backed by a major label, and they're in total charge of their career. The main problem for an indie artist hasn't really been about their fair share of royalties being paid out. They're more concerned with getting their music noticed by the general public, who currently tolerate the continuous bombardment of media coverage about the dominating mainstream artists that have a monopoly, such as Jay-Z and Coldplay. In this video, which is slightly negative towards Tidal, it it just acts as further publicity for all the said elitist artists that I've mentioned beforehand. I'd possibly have more respect for these pop stars if they just removed their entire back catalogue from iTunes, YouTube, Spotify, all overnight, and just piss off the Tidal. Stay there. If that became the only place on earth that you could hear these artists, then I and millions of others would never have to hear their bog awful music ever again, because we would never go on Tidal.